So we talked about module, the pillar number 1, which is motivation, and some of the resources that you as a new Muslim mentor can utilize to motivate them. Now we'll be talking about the how component. The most important how component obviously is Salah and wudu. So sometimes people would have the mindset, oh, I need to learn Arabic, I need to learn alphabet. That's not true. That's great, you can, but it doesn't mean that until and unless you learn that, you can actually not learn the Salah. And one of the things that we have done is we have prepared a transliteration where the transliteration is done based on the syllables. As you can see on your screen, it said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And obviously, if you see a typical transliteration book, you wouldn't see that. And they would probably have like, the transliteration matching the Arabic word, which is good, but it doesn't help with the pronunciation. So the other thing, as I mentioned earlier, that you need to have that balance. Don't stop praying just because your pronunciation is not there. Allah is going to reward you. You will connect with Allah based on your sincerity, your thinking, your conscious mind, and not necessarily based on your pronunciation, as long as you're working on it. So you want to have that middle ground, not too overwhelmed by it, as well as not someone, okay, I'm not going to care about it. I'm just going to pray and say whatever comes to my mind. And as I mentioned earlier, think of prayer as a source of empowerment, just like how you would take a coffee break, and a coffee break would empower you to make you more successful, to make you more productive. Think about the prayer as that as well. Don't think that it's something that's taking away from your productivity. Don't think that it's taking away from your success. Okay, so now we will see from the starter pack about what we have about in the prayer, for the prayer sections. Okay, so if you look at the starter pack document, it gives you this here. So you have basically transliteration. So this is a document that we have prepared. They can just go ahead and print it, and then they can hold it in their prayer, and they can read from there, or they can put it on the ground if it's like bigger font. So as you can see how it's written with the syllables. And one of the things that we encourage them, that you are allowed to change the letters. Okay, so the coding system that I'm using is I'm using the number of vowels to denote the extension. So here, for example, from lol, you can see it's like what, 6 A's. So that shows them that you're stretching that vowel. Right here, for example, actually, so this should also be double I, right? Rahim. So this is actually one that a convert did. He kind of rewrote what I had written, but that's what it's supposed to be. It should help you with that encoding, that you're having double vowels for stretching, single vowel if you're not stretching. I'm also using capital or uppercase letters when you want to show them that, look, it's a bit heavy sound as opposed to a light sound. So you would see, for example, I'm using capital R and a lowercase r here. So that's something they can print. So that's one resource that we have for people. The other thing that we have, so this is a more detailed version that I originally wrote, but the key thing is they can change the letters if they have to. So if a particular spelling or transliteration is not helping them, they can change that. So you can see that how I have subhana, right? So I have 2 A's here to show that stretch. So I have it all written down. They can work on it, they can print it, they can read from it, and then they can focus on memorizing 1 line a week or a few lines a week, depending on how fast they want to move. This is a playlist that I have compiled for each of these lines. So every week they can work on one video if they choose to, right? And what it does is it reads the line slowly, and it also helps them understand what it means and how understanding that meaning can empower them in their life. Another option is that you can also send them WhatsApp voice notes per line, so they can practice with that, and they can then send it back to you, and then you can give them feedback. But the most important thing is, like, even if they don't get everything obviously on the first day, just to have 1 line a week or 2 lines a week, whatever would work for them. So far I've shown you a few resources. One is transliteration, accompanying audios, and then there's also a prayer mat that you can purchase for them if they choose to. Now, other options that you have are apps. So this is a great app. It's called My Prayer app. So they can download it from each of that. And then they have an app for Adhan and so on and so forth. Now, I have demoed these apps on top of this document. As you can see that I have a video walkthrough, right? So in this Zoom call with a new Muslim, I showed them how to use this app. So by the way, with Zoom or Google Meet, you can actually share your phone screen as well, and then show them how to utilize the app if you're not meeting them in person. So please take a look at this first video, and then you have these resources to teach them how to pray. So the app is good enough. So right now, the basics, for example, wouldn't cover details like sajda, sahu, and things like that. But if you want more details, then this one, New Muslim Guide, your prayer section actually has other details as well. I also have a section here to show them a demo of what does it mean to do a ghusl, when you need to have a ghusl, how do you do the ghusl. And this is, for example, video on the concept of wiping on the socks and how you can pray when you're on the go, and different hacks that people can have depending on where they are and how they can pray. And also talks about combining the prayers when they can, and also in general combining is better than just missing the prayer altogether. So these are some of the resources that kind of talk about the how component, which is, again, you will walk them very slowly with it. As long as there's forward progress and interest, they will get there.